know it's so live. Tell me when to go, baby, when we gon' slide, baby, when we gon' slide. Yeah. Up all night, baby, when we gon' slide. Oh, hey, baby, when we gon' slide.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Becoming Her. It is your girl Nina Simone, and unfortunately I am by myself today. Julia just could not make today. It honestly doesn't even feel right doing that intro without her, but it's all right. We're gonna make it do what it do. And you know what, like, we had a conversation when, you know, she told me she couldn't make it, and, you know, she was like, well, maybe we could just post one of our guest episodes. I know we'll be kind of going out of routine, but, you know, we do have guest episodes on deck. So I was just like, I had considered it at first, but then I said, no, you know, like, I feel like we started it this way. Let's just keep it going. I'm that type of person anyways. Once I start something a certain way, I know you have to be able to adapt and be open to change. But I feel like this was my way of adapting, which was doing it by myself and, you know, stepping out into a very uncomfortable place, because I am not a solo girl unless it's time to dance. But we're going to get into that, because even then, all right. But what prompted me to do this episode by myself was because I was like, I feel like this is a moment that God is using for me to step into my light and not dim it anymore. You know, I think that we as people are so good at dimming our own lights, and I always say this, that the world does that to us. So there's no need for us to, you know, do that to ourselves. So today's topic is stepping into our own light, embracing growth despite the discomfort, you guys. So that is what we'll be talking about today. I think with Julia not being here, this is the perfect moment to talk about this. And I miss you, girl. Can't wait to have you back, because again, it just don't even feel right, okay? But we're gonna get into it, you guys. So I wanted to start off basically by speaking about why I feel like this is an important topic. I'm gonna just tell a story of my own that I feel like maybe people could resonate with. And I think I've always been a group project, a collaborative type of person, very inclusive. I always want to bring people into my projects, my business endeavors, whatever venture I may be going on. And you know, I have always heard growing up that everybody isn't for everything. You know what I'm saying? So there's some projects that I need to do on my own, and I have to be able to realize when those are, because when God gives you a vision, you know, that vision is yours. It's not on anybody else to basically see your vision through. Yes, people can assist you with that vision. Yes, God sends people in your life to be able to pour into your vision as well, right? But that vision is yours. So I feel like Becoming Her was something that, you know, was mine initially, and I said initially, and you know, I feel like God used Julia as the person that was supposed to be pouring into this. And I've been wanting to do this for years, but I was just too scared. First of all, I was too scared to do it on my own, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, I can't really tell you. I was just scared. And then I think everything happens in divine timing, like I've said before. But yeah, I think that was really the only reason why I didn't start years ago, on top of it just wasn't time. And then when I started it now, which was like 2.5 months ago or something like that, I didn't want to do it on my own then either. So I feel like, you know, Julia was the perfect person for the job. But, you know, with that being said, I'm still wondering where that stems from. Where does the dimming of the light stem from, for not only myself, but for other people, you know? So before I get to rambling, I'm going to try to stay on topic. I have my outline here. But yes, so my story basically was, I've always been a group project person, a collaborative person, And even in my dance ventures, you know, I would want people to be involved. Like, you know, I don't know what it is, but I think that's just the comfort zone for me. I love working with other people. I love bouncing ideas off other people because I think that two minds are better than one, you know? So we weren't meant to be in this world alone. God created, you know, man and woman, and he created billions of people for a reason. You know, everybody has their role. There's supposed to be some team sort of work here in the world anyways, right? So I feel like naturally that's just who we are as people anyways. But there are certain people who prefer to do things alone, who prefer to do things solo, and don't mind doing these type of things solo, you know? And I just find that very interesting because I'm wondering like what mindset those sort of people have towards, you know, doing things by themselves. So yeah, you guys, let's really just get into it, okay? So let's see, why do we as people dim our lights? I think for me personally, I wasn't intentionally dimming my light, right? I think that I've stepped into spaces as far as dance goes, and I'm in the back, you know, like even I go to my favorite choreographer's classes and I'll go stand in the back of the room. I want to learn the routine in the back. I don't want to be seen. I just want to be able to be in my own little world, mess up, do what I do in the back so nobody notices, right? But in a way, now that I'm speaking on it and, you know, thinking about it and reflecting on it out loud, it is, in a way, I am dimming my light when I'm doing that. Any class I'm in, I want to be in the back. Any like, maybe if I go out, right? So if I'm going out with a group of friends or whatever, I'm chilling, you know, I'm in the back, I'm chilling, I'm sitting down, my friends getting it, you know, and I'm just hyping them up. And, you know, some of my friends or people that I go out with, they're like, why don't you like get up and dance and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, at first I just thought like, I'm just chilling. Like, I don't really want to do that. I don't, you know, feel like doing that because I dance all the time. That's just something that I already do, right? But now that I'm thinking about it, could I consider that dimming my light a little bit? Yeah, I don't want to be seen. I don't want people to notice me in a way. So I don't do, you know, I don't step out and do things that, you know, maybe other people would, other people they would consider confident would, and people consider me confident, and I feel like, yes, I am confident in myself. I love myself. I've grown to love myself. It was a journey. It still is, you know. There's still days where I'll be like, you know, struggling with self-love sometimes, and maybe not even self-love, because I think that's the wrong term. Self-worth. I think that is the thing that I'm working through right now. So yeah, but you know, when I'm out and about with my friends, could that be, I want y'all to answer this, could that be me dimming my light? Could me going to the back of the classroom every time be me dimming my light because I don't want to be seen? And I don't know where that stems from, you guys. I don't know, because even as a kid, I wasn't a very talkative kid. I was kind of like the chill kid, the one that wouldn't say too much unless spoken to. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think even in sports, when I was younger, maybe in middle school or whatever, I would just kind of, you know, be in the background, and I'm the quiet athlete. I'm good at what I do, you know, like I'm pretty good at the sports that I was in, but I was still not the very see me sort of thing, you know. I think I did kind of hide in the background even then, and maybe that stems from the childhood, maybe my childhood mindset, who knows, you know. So now that I'm reflecting out loud, I'm gonna go back and discover, you know, something about me that may have been something I was dealing with as a kid, and you know, kind of always just hiding myself, wanting to blend in, not wanting to do too much, and not wanting to be seen. But I think in a way, especially in dance, that really hinders me. I feel like I do great. I feel like I've done great in my career thus far, but I think if I would allow myself to just step out and just be free, regardless of what people may think, feel, say, you know what I'm saying, I think that I would really be able to own my light and really fully step into my light. So yes, again, sorry if I'm rambling, but I just want that to make sense for y'all. So back to, kind of why people dim their light. Fear. Because for me, it was fear, right? For other people, it may be judgment. People might be judging you, fear of failure. So it's just all different types of things. Maybe even rejection that, because I know some people deal with the rejection issues and being told no, or being told we don't want you over here, or whatever, right? So I think that's up to everybody to discover on their own, and I think it requires you to do things by yourself, just like I'm doing today. Regardless of how uncomfortable this is right now, I feel like I'm gonna feel empowered after this, because I've always kind of relied on somebody else to carry me through, if that makes sense. And well, in this sense, in the podcast sense. So I've relied on Julia to help me carry the conversation and, not make me be the center of attention in the spotlight, because again, I don't like that. And going to dance, even in dance classes, when I get called out for a solo, I absolutely despise it. Not despise it, because I'm honored, I'm flattered that, the choreographer saw something in me that she would like to highlight, she or he would like to highlight. But like, I get so, not anxious, but I just get so like, oh God, okay. And I tell myself, tap in. But before I do my little pep talk while I'm walking out to the floor, I immediately am like, no, please, can somebody come out here and do it with me? And that's even in my own classes. When it's time for me to perform the combo, by myself at the end of class, I just be like, I really don't want to do this, because it's just like, y'all are all looking at me. Y'all are all looking at me. And again, that has to do with fear. That has to do with rejection. That has to do with, fear of failure or judgment, because you're opening yourself up for that. You really are, so yeah, I think that once you discover what it is and where the root of you dimming your light is, I think it'll start to make more sense. And maybe you need to talk through it with somebody and talk out loud. Maybe do a video diary, go in your journal, do whatever you have to do to make it make sense. Yes, because I think that it'll definitely help you on your journey to becoming her or becoming him, okay? For my fellas that might be watching. So I think that moving on, one of my notes, my points was using group projects as a crutch. I think I talked to my mom about this before I recorded, and I was telling her that, I feel like I kind of use collaboration and group projects as a crutch, simply because I just don't want everything to be on me. And in dance, when I'm in my room and when I'm in my own space and I'm recording by myself and nobody's here with me, easy, right? Easy. It's whenever, now I have to be the creative director. I have to be the choreographer. I have to be the costume designer. I have to, whatever it may be. That's a lot. And I think that I tell myself, no, somebody should be doing one, there's a person for each of these things. And that's true. Everybody can play a role, right? But God has equipped me with the ability to be all of those things in one. And I think that I limit myself because I'm scared of the outcome, because I don't know how it's going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? I think that if I want to create a show and do a showcase and be able to tell a story on my own, I should be able to do that because I can. Because again, God equipped me to be able to do that. So yes, I can be the creative director. Yes, I can be the choreographer. Yes, I can be the stylist. Yes, I can be the whatever. Yes, all in one. I can do it all. And so can you. I think that you can do it all as well. And you just have to be able to tell yourself that, but not only tell yourself that, but believe it at the same time. I know it's easier said than done, but once we step into this next season, you know what? Let me say this. This season, we are not dimming our lights. We are stepping into owning our light because God is the light, right? So we step into that light knowing that we're it. Yes, we are blessed and highly favored. Okay, asking God. It's crazy because when I go to these classes or when I do whatever, go perform, whatever it may be, I ask God, please shine your light on me, and blah blah blah. I'm sure he's like, girl, which one do you want? Okay, do you want me to shine my light on you so that your light may shine and my light may shine through you? Or, do you want to be the person, do you not want me to do it? Which one is it? Because you can't have both. So you cannot have, you got to choose. Do you want to be comfortable or do you want to grow? It's either one or the other, okay? You cannot have both to be able to succeed, to be able to grow. Because comfortability is nowhere in growth. You have to go somewhere that's uncomfortable. You have to do things that are uncomfortable. And this starts today with me talking to you guys by myself. So what does it mean to step into your light? For me personally, I think that it means to fully embrace who you are as a person, inside and out, regardless again of what people may think, say, feel, whatever. I think it's just being able to fully own yourself and fully love yourself. I think that it does come down to a little bit of self-love and not self-doubt, because all in all, you are doubting yourself. You are impacting yourself negatively, honestly, whenever you're not stepping into your light and owning your light and allowing God to move through you. And this is another point. When you're not allowing God to move through you, you're being disobedient, right? So for me, whenever a project may come up soon that maybe God gives me the vision for, and if it's supposed to be just me by myself, Nina, allow yourself to do it by yourself, because you're being disobedient when you are not doing it by yourself and God told you to. Okay, y'all, sorry, I just had to have a moment. And I hope that really helps somebody as well. And let me know in the comments right now, not right now, but let me know in the comments why you feel like you dim your light. What does it mean to step into your light? What area are you uncomfortable in right now? Right? But at the end, I'm going to go through those questions because I had people answer those questions. And I think it's going to be really good to kind of see what other people say about this topic. But yes, I think stepping into your light is just owning your gift, owning your gift, owning your talent, owning your voice. I think that all is a part of stepping into your light and being obedient, because we all have a gift, we all have talents, we all have a voice, and we're supposed to use it. Now, how you're supposed to use it is going to look different from me, yes. So that, again, that's a lot of self-discovery and the internal work that you have to do on your own to be able to, discover what that may be. And it's funny because I feel like, no, I don't like doing projects or business stuff by myself, but I can be a micromanager. So although I may not want to do the thing by myself, I want to have my hand in everything, even if I do it with somebody else. Okay, like Shamari will tell me like, girl, I got it. Like, even a good example, the other day we were in a dance class and I had him filming the drills and stuff like that, and I was like, you know, kind of hovering over him making sure that he was getting what I needed him to get. And I was like, yeah, just press pause, because you know, on the new update on your phone, you can record and then press pause where you want it to stop, and then go back and press record, and it'll start right where you finished. So I was like, just press pause. And I was like looking at him to make sure he did it right, and he's like, girl, I know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, it's funny because I do want to do everything, but it's just like I don't want to do everything by myself. And it's just crazy that, you know, I want my hand in everything. So I kind of find that ironic. And I do also love being by myself, you know? So it's not that I struggle with codependency. I think me and Julia talked about this on a previous episode, that at one point I was codependent. I do believe I was codependent at one point. But I feel like ever since I've been kind of, you know, moving and grooving on my own and doing things that require me to be by myself, as far as, you know, my self-discovery journey, my becoming her journey, I think that I have enjoyed being by myself. I've enjoyed my solitude. I've enjoyed learning about myself in a way that I have probably would have never, okay, I'm not going to say never, because I would have gotten there eventually. It just probably would have came later. But just learning things about myself that I did not know. Learning things I didn't like. Don't like, do like. Will put up with, won't put up with. You know, things like that. And I enjoy doing things by myself. Isn't that crazy? That it's like, I don't get it. Like, I enjoy being in my space by myself. Oh, I can do that all day. I enjoy maybe riding to the store by myself. I enjoy doing, you know, just doing little things by myself. But when it comes to projects, when it comes to this and talking, I never would have thought I would have been on here talking by myself, y'all. I never, I saw myself starting a business. Did I ever see myself starting a business by myself? No, I didn't. And yes, I've started a few businesses by myself, but I would always add people. And I'm so grateful for those people, by the way. I don't regret adding them at all. And no, me and Julia are not beefing. She will be back in the next episode. But, you know, I want to make that clear because I know how the internet can be sometimes. But, yeah, like those type of things, I'm trying to get to the root of why I struggle with individuality in those areas. So yeah, we'll see, you guys. But some strategies for embracing your light, in my opinion, would be acknowledging the fear. So y'all know, no denial. We can't be in denial here. We have to acknowledge that we do struggle with stepping into our own light and owning our own light, and recognizing what's holding us back. So you have to be able to not verify. I guess that could be a word, but you have to be able to, you know, decipher what those two things are. So you acknowledge your fear, and then you acknowledge what it is that's holding you back. Okay? And then the second note I had was to take small steps, baby steps. It can be anything. So for me, if I'm on my next project, if I am scared to do that one alone, I'm going to take a baby step and do what I can, do what I feel comfortable with by myself, and then if I just have no other choice than to ask somebody, you know, hey, can you step in and blah, 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 then I will. But I think it's just, you know, taking those baby steps and starting with small actions that'll push you out of your comfort zone. Yeah. Another one is embracing your solo challenges. So, like I just said, just stepping out and doing something by yourself. And yeah, even if it's uncomfortable. So, yeah. And then maybe practice some affirmations. So that could be anything like replacing your fear and replacing your self-doubt with something positive. Positive self-talk is key. So that could be in your journaling. You could be writing down affirmations, but make sure you say them out loud. And then maybe in the mirror. I know some people do mirror work, and that works for them. I need to kind of get into that, but I'm gonna try that as well. So yeah. And then the last tip that I have is to reflect on your why. So focus on the bigger purpose behind stepping into your light. You know, so how would not only you benefit from stepping into your light, but how would those around you benefit from you stepping into your light? Because again, when you're disobedient, it doesn't only affect you, it affects everybody around you, everybody attached to you. It affects whoever you were supposed to serve. Yeah. When I'm disobedient and I'm affecting, possibly that could be my mom that I affected. That could be my dad that I affected because I didn't do something the way I was supposed to do it. That could be a student of mine who I was supposed to serve that day. But because I wasn't obedient to the call and I wasn't obedient to the assignment of doing it on my own, she missed out. And she missed out because of me. Yes. So that is a good thing to do. Reflect on your why. And so, yeah, I feel like this is a personal reflection moment for me, talking to you guys and talking through this with you guys, because yeah, I thought about it all yesterday after me and Julia's conversation, but you know, I took a second to reflect on it, but talking about it out loud, it just makes it all the more real. And so I'm excited for what 2025 has for me and what those solo projects and solo ventures are going to look like for me. I used to even hate traveling alone, like, you know, so now I feel like if I could do that by myself, because now I don't mind it at all. Like, I will go through the airport, I'll get through the airport, I'll get on that flight, leave the rest in God's hands and get to where I'm going, you know. So I don't have an issue with that anymore. But had this been 3 years ago, no, I don't want to fly by myself. Why would I do that? You know, so just certain things that you just have to figure out why you don't like doing certain things by yourself. And I know that flying isn't correlated to like dimming your light, but I guess it could be, right? Say that if I didn't want to fly by myself and somebody couldn't come with me to a gig that I may have got booked for, I just shut the whole light off at that point. You didn't just dim it, baby. You turned the light off, okay? Because, you know, so I do think actually that it could be related. You're missing out on your opportunities. That's it. When you dim your light, you're missing out on your opportunity to glorify God. You're missing out on your opportunity to bring glory. Sorry, y'all. You're missing out on your opportunity to bring glory to His name, because at the end of the day, He's going to get the glory for your obedience. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. But I'm pretty much almost done. I do want to read a few of the answers that people had put on Instagram on my story. I asked some questions. Let's see here. Okay. So the first question was, What's holding you back from stepping into your own light? And you guys can answer this in the comments too. But let's see what people said. I don't know if they want me to say their names. Not on this one. So I'm just not going to say the names. But by the way, first, I appreciate everybody that answered and gave me some good talking points and some good responses. So somebody said, sounds crazy, but I'm scared of standing out. And again, the question was, what's holding you back from stepping into your own light? So she's scared of standing out. Same thing, you know, like I feel like that's what it is with me. I don't want to stand out. I don't want to be the center of attention. And you know, it's up to us to figure out why that is. So somebody else said, not feeling good enough, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. Yes. Somebody else said, just doubting myself. Yep. And I feel like doubting ourselves is so easy. Like we do that easily and naturally. And it's actually very sad for the human race because why are we so quick to be like, I can't do that, or I don't belong here, or, you know, I don't want to do too much because I don't know what people will think, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we do that? I will never understand it because, you know, I have my moments where I'm like, yeah, like I said, let me stand in the back of the room because I don't want people to, you know, really don't want nobody to see me, blah, blah, blah. But why? Why? You know? Somebody else said herself. What's holding you back from stepping into your own light? Yourself. Okay. That's real. Somebody else said myself. Being in my head and forgetting my journey is going to be different than others. That is good. That is good. Yes, I do think that that's another way that people dim their lights because they're so worried about how God is shining his light on other people and what we see on Instagram and what their life is looking like, and you know how they're so confident and they shining. They, you know what I'm saying, they flourishing, blah blah blah. But meanwhile, you don't know what them people going through. You don't have a clue. Not one clue. So, you know, I do think that that is a easy way for people to dim their light. Comparison. What's another one? Somebody said, things that I'd want to do get me judged by elders I respect or laughed at by peers. That's a good one. Because why... I wonder if she's saying that, you know, that's why she's holding herself back, that people do that, or she thinks people are going to do that. I think she's saying people do that. Things that she wants to do gets her judged by elders that she respects or laughed at by peers. Wow. Girl, you know, I think it comes a time when you eventually will say, and me too, let me say that will eventually say, forget them, you know, like, I'm sorry, but I respect my elders, you know what I'm saying? Did my family think that dancing was really a way for me to be successful in the beginning? A way for me to make a life, to make a living, a way for me to, you know, make it in this world? No, they did not think that decision was the best decision, right? But I do think that they were still very supportive. They were, you know, do what you want to do, blah blah blah. But of course, it came with the but blah 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 blah. Yeah, and that will have you dimming your light, or that will not even, that again, that will have the light off. Like, it won't even be a flicker at all, because you're like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna not do it at all. I'm not gonna do it at all if this is how people feel. You know what I'm saying? So I think that eventually it'll come to a point where you're just kind of like, I'm doing it regardless. Okay. And somebody said not having a car or procrastination. Yeah, I think that is what you call excuses, you know. So yes, not having a car, very inconvenient, you know what I'm saying? But people, I noticed one thing, even me, people do what they want, they get to where they want, and they make it happen for what they want to make happen, you know. So I think that is a good thing to remember whenever you're like, I don't have my car, but how you getting around? How you doing blah blah blah? How you going to hang with your friends? How you going to hang with your boyfriend? How you going to get food? I know the necessity is food, of course, that you need that over anything, but you know, how are you going to all of these extracurricular things, but you can't even pour into your vision? You can't even pour into what God may be wanting you to step into. Yeah. And procrastinating, I feel like we've all been there. I still procrastinate to this day, not as bad as I used to. It's getting much better, but I have definitely been known to be a procrastinator, and that will definitely hold you back as well. So but 2025, all them bad habits out the window. Okay. Next question was, have you ever felt uncomfortable taking the spotlight? Okay. And somebody said, ooh, this one has quite a few answers. So let's see. Somebody said, most times, yes. It helps when I'm confident in everything about myself at that moment. Okay. Okay. Have you ever felt uncomfortable taking the spotlight? Somebody else said, I have terrible stage fright. That's real. I used to have stage fright too, girl. I get it. Somebody else said, you will eventually not have the same anxiety when you face a challenge. Period. And that's real. Whenever you face that challenge, whenever you face that fear, you will not have the same feeling. You will not have the same fear. You will not be as whatever you may be in that moment. She also said you just have to throw yourself into many uncomfortable situations. And like I said earlier, do you want growth or do you want comfortability? Because you can't have both. Your choice. Okay, and then somebody else said, yes, so many times. I think it takes a lot of confidence to like the spotlight. Ooh, yes. Because let me tell you, I think for you to actually like the spotlight, like, you know, this is why I want to work with the greats. I want to work with Beyonce, Chris Brown, you know, Usher. I want to work with all of them. Even I love Drake too. I want to work with him. I would want to ask them, do you actually like this? You know, because like, is this something that you actually like? Being in the spotlight, the center of attention, the forefront, you know, the front runner. Do you like that? And if so, like, why? Because I really genuinely just want to know. Like, I would want to pick their brains, because I feel like, yes, that takes a level of confidence that you just gotta have, you know what I'm saying? Or build. And I feel like they've been, you know, doing this since they were young. So for them now it's just easy. They're like, whatever, you know. But, you know, for people like us where we are still trying to step into that, I wonder what that felt like for them at that time when they were first stepping into it. That's a good one. Somebody said, all the time, what gets me out is when I get into the music, having fun and focused on improvising. Period. So this one is a dancer, and she's saying that whenever she's having fun with the music and is just focused on being free, that's when she's okay with the spotlight. That's when she is maybe not even okay, maybe that's not even the term, but that's when she feels a bit better about being in the spotlight. I feel that. I definitely feel that. Somebody else said, yes, but then I had to realize I'm worthy of that spotlight. So I should just live free. Period. Period. Yes. Again, God positions us. He places us in the spotlight for a reason. We are called to be there. Whenever you're called to be there, there should not be any sort of doubt, because you were put there for a reason. God is using you to speak to other people, whether it be through your craft, using your voice, using your platform, whatever that may be. Step into it fully. And I'm talking to myself at the same time I'm talking to y'all. Like, this isn't me saying, oh yeah, I got it all down pat, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional. I'm not any of that. I'm talking through what I'm going through right now with you guys. And somebody said, I don't mind if I take it unintentionally, LOL, but on purpose, I'm working on it real. Because I feel that so much. Because, let me tell you, if I'm just in the back of the room in a class, a dance class, and I just so happen to be like, you know, getting some blah, blah, blah feedback, whatever the case may be, then cool. You know, if I just, whatever. But if I'm like, just like you said, purposefully, if I'm like, oh, if I just notice everybody's just kind of like, then I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. You know, so I definitely understand. Okay, 3 more questions, you guys. One is, do you prefer working in groups or solo, and why? Let's see what we got here. Groups, because I actually love being around others. Same. I love people. I love community. I just love collaborating. Somebody else said, I love working with groups. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's get into this really quick. Does anybody else's voice crack a lot? Because mine cracks a lot, and I'm really trying to understand why. It's been since I was a kid, and I'm really trying to understand why that happens. And I think it's because I looked it up, because eventually I was just like, now look, they said dehydration. Okay, cool, I understand that. It also said lack of like vocal control, and maybe that's what it is. I feel like maybe that might be what it is, because I don't have any other explanation. But also I need to start drinking more water. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that. So if you ever hear my voice cracking, please just skip over it, because it's gonna happen a lot. And I think I've grown to be like comfortable with it. Honestly, I used to be like, oh, did anybody hear that? I used to be like that, but now I just be like, man, I don't even care. Okay. Somebody said, I love working with groups. I get inspired, the energy I feed from, and it just makes me happier. Yes. You get inspired. The ideas, you bounce off of each other. It's just so much more like, again, 2 minds are better than 1. 3 minds are better than 1. You know, it's just better. But again, some things are called for solo. You to do it by yourself. Historically, I preferred groups because I can hide, but I aspire to be confident solo one day. That's real, girl. That's real. Groups, unless I feel super comfortable with the combo. Period. Okay. Pretty much same, honestly. Solo, I either end up doing all the work anyway or end up alienated. That's a good one. That's a good one. Because even if I do end up doing which usually I feel like in a lot of projects outside of dance, well, in dance, outside of dance, whatever it may be, I do like them in groups, but then, like you said, kind of end up doing all the work by myself anyways. But I still prefer the groups. Crazy. Okay. The second to last question, what's one area of your life where you feel like you're holding back? Somebody said, honestly, I think it's my connection with myself. Wow. She even had to say, wow. Where do you feel like you're holding back? Connection with myself. Baby, let me tell you. When I picked up, again, this is what works for me. When I picked up that journal and started writing, I've never felt more connected to myself than before I started journaling. you know. So before I started journaling, yeah, cool, I was, you know, blah, blah, blah. But when I started journaling, I was able to really like learn some things about myself. It's crazy. And then I think also too, you know, just me getting closer to God allowed me to connect not only with the source, but with myself. You know, I was able to discover some things through him, you know. So that's a good, if that's what you believe in, I think that that's a good takeaway for you. But I feel that somebody said self-doubt. That's an area that she's struggling in life right now. Oh wait, no, yeah, what's one area of your life where you feel like you're holding back? Self-doubt. Yes, girl, we got to start doing the positive self-talk again, because the world already doubts us. The world already beats us down and, you know, is negative toward us. Not everybody, but the world is negative. The world can be a negative place. So, you know, we shouldn't place that on ourselves. So we got to do better. And the last question is, oh, dang it. Hold on, y'all. My bad. What does stepping into your light mean to you? And we got a few answers. It means truly acknowledging all of my talents and living without fear. Love it. Because I agree. Yes. Somebody said embodying your essence and living it at all costs, regardless of outside situations / influences. Period. Being true to myself in all aspects and actually living my standards with no remorse. Ew. Okay. Being authentic and proud of who you are, working daily to fulfill God's plan for you. Yes, ma'am. Becoming the best version of yourself, working on improving yourself inside and out. And that is all, y'all. That is it. And so I just want to say that, again, I appreciate y'all for taking the time out to answer those questions, because, you know, I was able to not only pick my brain and, you know, reflect on my thoughts, but I was able to feed off of some of you guys and, you know, connect with some of you all on a different level rather than the surface and just through dance. It's not always about dance. There's so much more to me. There's so much more to you. And I would love to connect with, you know, my audience and my community outside of dance. So that was beautiful. I loved those responses. And I appreciate you guys for just continuously watching and, you know, pouring into our vision, because you're pouring into our vision, well, my vision, and Julia coming in and it being a part of her vision too. You're pouring into this vision by just even supporting and by watching and giving us feedback. And yeah, so I really appreciate you all for watching, because you could be doing whatever with whoever, wherever, but you took the time out to enjoy this moment and reflect on your situation and what you may be going through as far as dimming your light goes with me today. And I appreciate that so much. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with somebody that may need to hear this. You never know what friend of yours may need to hear it. But yes, you guys, that is all I have for y'all today. And again, thank y'all so much. Well, I got the deuces up already. Thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all. We will see y'all next week. Bye.
I don't care if we on a run. Nothing matters when we one-on-one. Looking at us cause we going dumb. We on the same wave, you the same way.